What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber die trying. You see the thumbnail. Owners versus renters. So the Houston Chronicle had an article about people buying homes in this booming market just so they can rent them out to people, right? And how basically they're buying the homes that people will actually buy because they got the cash to do it. And I started thinking about this, owners versus renters, because I've talked about this a lot where the cost of an apartment, you know, could be a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. At this particular point, depending on how new the apartment complex is, it's probably more than a mortgage. And I started thinking, well, because the apartment market is skyrocketing and the home market is skyrocketing, you got people flipping houses, or that they're not really flipping as much anymore. They're doing is they're buying it, renovating it, and renting it out, because you can stand and make a pretty penny off of this monopoly game, or you can get multiple homes and then say consolidate those homes for a bigger unit or something. And I started thinking about this economy. For the last year, a lot of people were falling on hard times because of layoffs, and people lost their homes. But most people who were were losing or going to lose their homes or lost their jobs, they got furloughed, however you want to call it, they were able to defer payments for 6 months to a year. So that helped a lot of people. But what if those people still don't have it by the time, that 6 months to a year is up? That's a whole different story. And you got people who are owners like, I'm finna get paid. Because would you rather pay exorbitant apartment prices, or would you rather pay my house off for me? All right. And the difference is the space, but also the school zone sometimes, right? You might be in a home, but your home might have a front and backyard, and your kids might be able to play, depending on how big or small they are. But we don't think about it this way, because the owners are looking at all the renters like, you know what, y'all are food. You got the people who just were young and having fun, and what I've seen probably in the last 5 to 10 years are people who you would say let's just say 30 to 35 plus, and more so to 35 plus, who were just getting their first home. And it's like home owners and people who are buying homes and properties for rentals are banking on the fact that, you didn't want to do that. And this is the other thing that people forget. Home ownership is supposed to be like the biggest, the bulk of people's wealth in America, right? Is to own a home. So if you pick the right location, in 10 years, you become a millionaire. Like, the value of your home could double, could triple in less than a decade. And sometimes it grows exponentially depending on the the location, as far as the amenities in the area. School zone, things around it, access to this, that, and the third, power, blah, 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 blah. Prices for taxes and all that other stuff. And the owners are looking at it like, I can own this, and this, and I could be doing fine. Because we're dealing with a demographic of people who, we don't want to talk about it, but you got older people downsizing. You got younger people still caught in that student loan, so I can't necessarily get a home mix. So who's eating is basically the person who can afford, whether it's a down payment or you're the kid of the older people who are downsizing, and they give you the cash to buy a home outright to rent it out. You know, you got your inheritance while you was alive. You know, or somebody died and you got inheritance and then bam. You know, so I just think, and the reason why I know this is because my next door, I have next door a neighbor, but the people next door have always fluctuated because since I've had this home, somebody else owned the one next door. So it's at least 5 different people. So that home is probably paid off now because of those 5 different families paying the mortgage. You get what I'm saying? Because the people who own it never came. I've never seen the people who actually own that home, you know. And people are doing this more and more and more and more. So it's going to get interesting. Like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch y'all on the next one. Peace.